Hello, everyone, and please excuse my voice. I've been down with a cold and sore throat for the fourth week in a row, and there have been good days and bad days. And it's really funny that ever since the pandemic, ever since COVID, all my illnesses take a while longer. I used to be ill for just 3, 4, 5 days, and now it's 2, 3, 4 weeks. But that's it. I don't care too much about it. It's just a funny thing. On the 28th, we are going to have a Pisces new moon, and it's going to be on the urn of the Waterbearer. And we just had an election in Germany, and it was a funny election because if you look at the map, you will see that East Germany voted for AfD, ADF, Alternative für Deutschland. And I can tell you a lot about Eastern Germany because I was born in East Germany, and I do have a lot of friends still from there. All I can tell you that they are not stupid people. They lived through Russian-occupied Germany, and they know when they see things, and they can really determine what's going on. And just because mainstream media turns ADF into a fascist and extreme right-wing party, it's not true. They simply want to get their country back. They want to remain German, and that's it. And of course, they are labeled with all kinds of stuff. Whereas the western part was won by the globalists, and nothing will change in Germany. Certainly nothing. You will see the same thing, the same idiocy, the same green agenda. So we are not yet saved yet in Europe. You guys in the United States have a much better chance to be saved. Unfortunately, our globalists are still here. Anyhow, let's take a look at the Pisces new moon in London. This is the chart for London, and it becomes exact on the very, very small hours at 44 minutes after midnight on February 28th. And as you can see, we have a Scorpio rising with Juno on the ascendant. Juno represents the First Lady, but also alliances, pact, and promises. And on the descendant, you have Sedna, creation through dissection is rising, plus Uranus, which is, of course, change and chaos and anarchy, but also flashes of inspiration. Flashes of inspiration will be very prominent in this particular chart because Uranus makes an exact sextile with Mercury. And of course, Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. And as you can see, here's the sun moon at 10 degrees Pisces. Saturn is on the IC, which usually means two things: either poverty at home, restrictions and poverty at home, or a stable, although stark home. We can see probably both with this. This is a particularly colder winter than in the past couple of years, and of course, heating costs a lot all over Europe. So it's really a tragic thing how they ruined the economy of Europe. And the two strong feminine, Pallas Athena, the wise girl, and Lilith, revolt against injustice, is now circling around Pluto, transformation. And if you look around, the people do want something different. What's the problem? That the elites don't want it to happen. So they have all kinds of tricks, and they don't allow the people's first choices to become leaders. That's what you see in Austria, you see it in France, you see it now in Germany. It doesn't really matter what the people want, and they call it democracy, and I'm always laughing because you might try to go against the tide of the people, what the people want. And the elite decided that we should not heat our homes, we should eat insects, we should not drive a car, and we should be they want to push us into poverty. They can try. This happened a couple of times in history. Look at history and you will see what might happen during that or after that intent. There are not too many things at 10 degree in the chart, only Jupiter and Venus, which is brilliant because the two luck planets are actually touching the Pisces New Moon, and they are creating a mini engine, or we can also use it, the label dissolved square. The square is between, it's a mutable square between the Sun, Moon, and Jupiter. Jupiter squares are not very tight or strong or difficult, really. Jupiter enlarges everything it touches, and now it touches the new moon, and it simply says that, okay, try to remain where you are, try to see what you can do, don't blow up stuff. And then this is dissolved by Venus, the lesser luck. So that's quite a nice little configuration. And we have a couple of transcendental celestial objects. The color coding is the same. Magenta or lilac are asteroids. They represent the personal karmic level. The blue are centaurs. They represent karmic wounds and either healing or all kinds of phobias and fixities. And these red ones are fixed stars, which are not part of the solar system. They are part of the universe, and they usually represent universal issues, higher dimensional worlds. And this is what you have on the Sun Moon, Leto. She was the mother, excuse me. That's what I mean. My voice is coming and going. I apologize. Anyhow, Leto is the mother of Apollo and Artemis, so mother goddess, and child, of course, it means our children. Heracles, the hero, Cassandra, the clairvoyant, who nobody believes, and Situla, which we are going to look at in a minute. And on Venus, you have Aurora, the dawn, that there's always a new dawn, there are always new possibilities. And Salacia is one of the centaurs that are linked to Atlantis, the Atlantean ruin and destruction. So we are on the verge again of complete destruction, and the idiots of Europe and your very own prime minister, they really are idiots. I mean, they are still not believing that there should be peace. They think that Russia shouldn't win and Ukraine should win. What difference does it make? First of all, it's not our war. These are two Slavonic countries, two Slavonic really brothers and sisters, okay? They are brother nations, and they're fighting with each other. What does it do to us? Nothing. So it's like this whole war rhetoric is so ridiculous. People are dying every day, and they are being maimed, and valuable properties are being destroyed. This war should end. Today is the third anniversary of when the war broke. Yes, I know. Russia is the aggressor. I know, and yes, Russians are trolls. And they're really bad people in many ways. But so are the Ukrainians. And if you look at history, what happened before 2014, how the Crimea got annexed by Russians. Take a look at history and learn from it. When mainstream media insist that this war is unprovoked, this is stupid. It's stupid. Don't believe in it. No war is ever unprovoked. Okay, and history has a long story to look at, and the truth always depends on where you start the story. Don't forget this, and don't believe mainstream media because they are lying through their teeth. So that's Venus, and then Jupiter has Tutankhamun, who was the son of Akhenaten, the pharaoh, and Amor, which is love. We will see. And here's Situla, which is not a very bright star. Actually, when you look at Aquarius, the stars of Aquarius are not too bright. The brightest star, Sada Melek, is 3.2. And actually, when the Magi in Persia wanted to select 4 royal stars for Persia, they were very easily they had an easy job with Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio, because their alpha stars are very bright, all 1.1, 1.2, Regulus, Antares, and Aldebaran. But they needed a 4th, the Watcher of the South. But the problem is Aquarian stars are not too bright. As you can see, Situla is 4.3, it's 5.3, it's barely visible. Stars are visible until 6 magnitude. So finally, they ended up choosing Fomalhaut, which is the alpha star of the southern fish, which should be somewhere here, so below Aquarius. And so it's not really part of the zodiacal constellation anymore. But Situla is, it's the urn, and we just had the German elections. Isn't that funny? Yes, as my dear friend Teresa would say, you can't make this up. Yeah, as some of my astrologer friends says, astrology is life. Astrology is life itself. Anyhow, there's also a beautiful crib in the London chart. A crib is made up by a mystic rectangle and 2 boomerangs. And the boomerang axis is the crib axis as well. That's an opposition. And this is formed by, only in the London chart, by the ascendant, descendant, and the nodes. That's the mystic rectangle. And of course, there's a triple conjunction. Mercury is coming up to a conjunction with the North Node Neptune conjunction. That's one side of the crib. And Uranus, change and also chaos. And the ascendant, descendant, and of course the South Node as well. So that's the basis. And there are 2 boomerangs. One has at the apex the Black Moon Lilith, which is the returning goddess, the third turning point of the Lilith myth, describing the fact that Lilith goes back into the Garden of Eden. And she represents knowledge, clairvoyance, stamina, and endurance, and the willingness to do what's right. Opposite it is Aries, drastically altered outward circumstances. So that is the angle or the axis of the crib. And the crib is always, crib represents, whenever you see a crib, again, which is a mystic rectangle with two boomerangs within it, and 2 angel wings at the sides, it represents that something is brewing, something is being created, something is germinating, and something will come out of it no matter what. And here's the ascendant, descendant, myself and my spouse, or my enemies, and the nodal axis with Mercury and Neptune. Neptune is, of course, clairvoyance and mysticism, and Mercury is rationalism and talks, negotiations. So that's what it is. And here are the transcendental celestial objects. My voice is going. I apologize. I hope I can finish this video. This is why I haven't even ventured too much, because by the time I finish my Hungarian videos, which are more important because I have 9 different groups that I'm teaching, and they really eagerly always wait for my videos. But at those times, I could not speak. So I need to do something with my voice. Anyhow, on the ascendant, you have Metis, the goddess of wisdom, and Narcissus, self-love. On Uranus' descendant, you have Ganymede, the cupbearer of the gods. He was a beautiful boy, and Zeus fell in love with him and took him up on to Mount Olympus and turned him into the cupbearer of the gods. And of course, it represents men love with each other. And Anahita, she was the creator goddess, the creator goddess, one of the few creator goddesses in mythology. And on Aries, we have Ambrosia, Aphrodite, Phaethon, Armor, and Thetis. It's an interesting mixture because what it actually happens is that amid drastically altered outward circumstances, this is Aries, you have the food of the gods, you have love, you have destruction, Phaethon is complete destruction, armor, of course, the weapons and armory, and protection, and Thetis, the goddess of the seas. So you have also water, which is, of course, emotions. On Mercury, you have Markab and the Alpha Pegasus, and Grazia, which is, of course, grace. And on the North Node, Neptune, you have Psyche, Harmonia, Parsifal, and Sheat. Soul, Harmonia, of course, is harmony. Parsifal is the knight in shining armor, and Sheat is the beta star of Pegasus, which is the healing word for suicide victims. On the south node, you have Clotho, the first of the fates, who is creating the thread of life, and Alkaid, which is Eta, Ursa Major. Ursa Major and also Ursa Minor is, so the Little and Big Bear are constellations linked to the goddess energy. And on the black moon, Lilith, you have Industria. Industria means industriousness. So, which is always the ingredient you need most if you want to become successful. And what's interesting in this space-time moment, that the nodes have the prenatal lunar eclipse of last year, SARS Series 8 South, which is a very beneficial series. This is what Bernadette Brady says about it. Separation is lost, to be parted, to finish something, and to feel sad at its completion. Physical injury is also possible through overstraining one's strength. This is not the time to undertake strenuous physical activities. This was in 2024, sometime in October. Both the South, these are both for 8 South, solar and lunar eclipse. It is the lunar eclipse that is on the North Node Mercury, and of course the Neptune, and the solar and the lunar eclipse is the Sun is on the South Node. So actually, both luminaries are highlighting the nodal axis, and this is about war. This is about what we should stop, how we should stop this whole thing. This is what I believe, at least. So that's an interesting new moon, to say the least. And you can see that all through Europe, we have elections, and the people are choosing parties, and the mainstream, the globalists, don't allow these parties to rule. This is what's happening right now in Austria. So you have politicians who don't care for us. They don't care for us people. It's an interesting situation. I've never seen anything like this in previous decades. It's interesting to see how politics are changing, and they are trying to push us into this globalist agenda and telling us what to do. And of course, it's not going to succeed. This is what I believe. Anyhow, happy new moon, and thank you for listening.